These videos are about to hit you harder than an atomic leg drop from the Hulkster himself. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. I am Steve and I'm back again. Thanks for stopping in. And boy, it's getting crazier by the day out there. Is it just me? Is it just me? Because it feels like every single day things are getting stranger and stranger and stranger and stranger. Hence the don't be a stranger to the strange shirt, because we gotta embrace it. So make sure you cop that. But in all seriousness, it is getting stranger. And I just thought of this theory. What if the people that really run the world figured out that we're in a simulation and figured out how to pull themselves out of the simulation, and now they're trying to encapsulate us into a different simulation that they can control? Kind of like the Matrix, but like kind of not. But like, can you wrap your head around that? Like, what if? I got that thought from a video I just watched coming up here. So when we get to there, I'll say this is what made me think of that. And there's so much more packed into this roller coaster of insanity. So let's roll the footage.
Oh, you're gonna like this one. So this whole bridge thing and the collapse, it made me think, wait a minute, wasn't that a scene from the movie that the Obamas produced on Netflix? And yeah, it is. Look, right there. That looks pretty similar, right? So then I'm like, wait a minute. Why are ex-presidents producing movies anyway? So of course I had to ask Alexa. Alexa, how many films has the Obamas produced?
This might answer your question. I know about 119 Barack Obama movies, including Leave the World Behind, Before the Flood, Fahrenheit 11 Nights, and Rustin. Netflix has announced a deal with Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, which will see the pair producing films and TV shows for the streaming giant.
I just don't trust Netflix. Barack and Michael, I do. I think they're great. And then I'm asking Alexa, just as a joke, maybe the government has an entire film industry and they're just always been pushing films on us for propaganda purposes only, and education and entertainment, blah, blah, blah. I just asked her as a joke, and then it turns out the frickin' Pentagon has an entire film company funded by the Department of Defense. Can't make it up. Alexa, has the Pentagon created Hollywood films?
From rawonline.org. It is estimated that the Pentagon has assisted in producing over 500 Hollywood films since the creation of the Department of Defense in 1947.
I bet you anything one of them was The Truman Show.
Oh!
And The Matrix.
It's the Truman Show for sure, boy. That's crazy. Who is that chick? I like her. She seems like a real nice lady. That's... I bet you it's over 500. You would think way over 500, man. The Pentagon, you know, the CIA, all types of probably deeper, darker organizations we ain't never heard of. I would imagine Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, they ain't doing a damn thing. If anything, their name's on it just to fuck with us. You know, they might own some, but like, they just, a lot of things, this is poking us. You know what I mean? They ain't doing nothing. Sitting around being a bunch of weirdos.
The sky just changed.
If it turns out that this video wasn't doctored or anything, I would not even be surprised, because ever since the solar eclipse on April 8th, the sky has not looked normal to me. There's something off about it, and I think that it is probably possible that there is a holographic sky being put over the entire sky to hide something. I don't know if it's alien ships in the sky or the sun simulator, I don't know. So call me crazy if you want, but this does not look real to me. These clouds here, they do not exist. And if you even look up holographic patents, you will find a ton of different patents for holographic projectors.
Dang.
What could that even be used for? Look, even NASA has one. Of all the organizations, they got one of these, just like the sun simulator patent too.
That's kind of what I was saying in the beginning, and this isn't even the video that made me think about it, but it's on par with it. Why did that the sky changed like that, and the sky has seemed weird. It's been raining nonstop. I haven't been able to I said in a couple videos ago, it seemed like a dome just went over the sky one day. It looked so crazy the way it rolled in. And then go back to the Simpsons movie. Why would the Simpsons do that dome? A whole movie, all those years, never made a movie. Then all of a sudden, we need to make a movie about putting a dome over the whole fucking... Probably just a coincidence. They leg dropped that dome over society like Hulk Hogan laid down that leg drop on Andre the Giant in WrestleMania 3. He body slammed him. He probably hit him with the leg drop at the end too, though. And you got Shelly Isco. Well, that's fucked up.
Life is a file which gets recorded by the two eyes and stored within the mind. You do not encounter the external world. You experience electrical impulses on your nervous system. You do not see into reality. The eyes are black holes, they suck in the light and the image is produced in the visual cortex. There is no past and future, there's only an infinite and indefinite now, which is infinitely running. You're in a folded time and space simulation. Earth rearranged is heart, because your body is simulating Earth to your consciousness. When the heart stops, you leave Earth, which is the body. You are eternal. You never die. Death is a transition.
That dude got his hands on some kind of information somewhere, like some deep esoteric teaching stuff, some Freemason, you know, which is like one and the same, you know, Freemason teaching stuff, because he's getting into some deep stuff on this Wisdom Academy page over there. All extremely interesting. Probably worth knowing and really paying attention to, and tap out of anything mainstream. Pharmaceuticals, all of it, tap out. Unsubscribe from anything that's mainstream knowledge. Okay, I'm just throwing this in here in case anybody hasn't seen it. It's not really a conspiracy, but it's the funniest take maybe I've ever heard on how absurd the lies are that we're supposed to believe that are just being poured into society. And Jim Brewer is one of the funniest people ever. Brian from Half Baked, if you've never seen the classic Half Baked, make sure you see that. Anyways.
You know, this train came off the rails again. Whoops!
Yeah.
Weird. That's like the fifth in the last 6 months. Yeah, the rivers got poisoned. Isn't that weird?
And now a ship's taking out bridges because they
the power went out. Are there people? All I imagine is donkey
They
ears.
couldn't count the boats because the sewer backed up over there and the
We can't count the boats because there was there was water started coming out of the main, and it was dangerous, so we couldn't do the boats. Well, wait a minute. I love this one. Well, the ship lost power, and then the black box just went blank.
I mean, that's just totally it too. Everything's just so absurd. We gotta send another $1 billion to the Ukraine. No, don't do any of that. What? The whole country? No. We gotta do it. The ship. I don't know. Train wreck in East Palestine, different Palestine. Like, it just never quits. It never ever quits.
Did you know that the English language was purposefully manipulated in order to keep us in a low vibration and disconnected from the meanings of the words that we're speaking?
I'm going to tell you right now, if this background isn't in northern Pennsylvania or maybe West Virginia, I'd be absolutely shocked. I'd be willing to bet. West Virginia, northern Pennsylvania, maybe New York. I don't know New York all like that, but I've been up into the Catskills once and it was like that. Those are my guesses. Tell me what you think.
Words are spells. That's why we learn spelling in school. Every sound that we speak has an energetic meaning and footprint that ripples out into the ether in the form of sound energy, creating the very fabric of reality as we know it. Now let's look at some examples. You have to be in a very weak days in order to make it through the weekdays. Notice the double meaning of week and days. Same sounds, different spelling. The same goes for the word weekend. It sounds very similar, almost identical to the word weekend. So when you say during the weekdays, you're casting a spell of being in a weekdays. By the time you make it to the weekend, you're so weakened by working a job that does not serve your soul. Job stands for just over broke. And every morning, you are mourning the loss of your time and energy.
That is one of the craziest things I ever heard, legit. And I've heard some crazy ass shit. Obviously, go back and watch all these videos, which would be great, and see all the crazy stuff. And I've heard crazier stuff than that. The stuff that I can't talk about on here, Jesus. But I never heard that before. I mean, I've heard, you know, it's spelling because they're putting a spell and things like that. But the weekdays, weekend, more, that shit, every single thing is conditioning. That's how good the puppet masters are. They have it down to a science, down to manipulating the language to keep us entranced in this bullshit. They're good, boy. I mean, they had thousands of years, many hundreds, thousands of years to put this shit on play, though. We just got here. That's why there's no point in really like fighting the power in my mind. These people picketing, doing this, doing that. You ain't fucking doing nothing. This shit's been in play forever. You got only a little bit of amount of time to fight something that's so deep you couldn't even wrap your mind around it. You might as well make the best of what you got and keep moving, baby. I've said before, though, wouldn't it be crazy if there was no such thing as time or days? Like, you just never thought about it. If you just never thought, it's bright out, it's not bright out. Like, that's it. And you just went about, these are the things we're doing. These are the things we're doing. You had no concept of time whatsoever. Like, you'd be able to judge pretty good by the stars and the sun and but you just no concept of it. Life would be so much better, I think, if there was no construct of time. These social construct people get on my fucking nerve. Things need to be constructed to have a society. But I feel like if there was no construct of time, it would be I think just a happier life.
You guys remember when Kanye said this, then disappeared?
I'm not taking the responsibility as a man. That's why I say the song Closed on Sunday is the hardest record ever made. As hard as the NWA record. Because it's talking about protecting your kids from the indoctrination of the media. The thousands and thousands of images that are fed to children by the age of 6 or 7. And within those images, there are images mixed in that we don't know about as parents that are purposely mixed in to lower the kids' superpower and esteem so that they can be more susceptible to consumption and feel that they need to consume and become a part of the robotic numeric system that controls so much of the media. I just had to say it like this. You can rewind it and then do research what I'm talking about.
I mean, he really put that out there. He was in a position where he would find this shit out for real. And, I believe him.
People, I can't make this shit up.
And this is the thing.
Again, Ingersoll Lockwood called this shit. And I didn't know what this was for in this picture, but now it makes sense. Look at this.
It's a burger.
Back to this picture right here. I know you've all seen it a couple times, but if you look up in the right-hand corner, you will see what's supposed to be the eclipse, what some of us believe is the black sun. And in front of it, there is a sandwich. All right? Are you keeping up, people? There is a sandwich in front of the sun, the eclipse. All right? Let me explain. It was all planned. We clearly seen the sun, and then we seen the eclipse, and then the eclipse was sandwiched by the sun simulator. When I tell you that I go to Ingersoll, and Ingersoll never lets me down. Ingersoll never lets me down.
Sounds like he's in love with him.
Watch the exit.
Is this Eversol?
Hey, NASA was supposed to shoot rockets at him.
Yes,
stop. Put that in green clock. You gotta stop. One head. That in green clock.
Oh, wow. Whoa, look at that.
It went around. Or the sun came forward.
What's that all about? What is that?
See it on the edge?
Yeah, what is that? What the hell is that? What is that, man? That's not... Yo, man, what was that all about?
Ebersol never lets you down, man. This is sun simulators, so maybe they're just literally, all right, we're replacing, we're giving them a fake sun, the moon, we ain't worried about that bullshit, fucking fake sky. Like, they're putting us in a dome as we speak, and we don't even really know. I mean, maybe we do know. Maybe some of us do know.
Freemasons always place the east at the top of their artwork and the north and south on the sides. This is because they understand the true cosmology of this realm, but you don't. North is the center of this realm. This is where all compasses point to, because the Earth's electromagnetic field and all this energy centers at this point. It's the strongest point. South is anywhere that goes opposite from the center. So if you walk this way, that is south, and that is south, and that is south. West is when you go left around the magnetic pole. This is anti-clockwise. If you were here and started walking west, you would end up in the exact same.
Yo, my boy's looking up testosterone prescriptions, just so we can be clear on that. I mean, which is fine, which is cool.
Spot. East is the clockwise turn around the center axis. So if you were here and walked east, you would end up in the exact same position. With that being said, east is the right turn, left is the west turn. They always show the ladder to the east. Why? Because the ladder is your spine, and the east means the right, which is the right hemisphere of your brain. In short, the right hemisphere produces a holistic view of reality. So this sees humanity as one unified consciousness. The left hemisphere breaks this down into individuals. This sees the trees, this sees the whole woods. So when Jesus says cast the net onto the right hand side of the boat and you will find fish, this represents cast your awareness into the right hemisphere and you will see the unification of the universe. You will see the higher self. This is the higher self, this is the ego. You will realize everything is connected and everything is all one.
I don't know, but that guy is blowing my mind with this Freemason stuff he's been dropping. This same guy just did the other video, as I'm sure you know. And he sounds like V from V for Vendetta. Man, dude, he's about to go out there and tear up old England. And I'm here to watch it.
This is the sculpture of Emperors Yan and Huang. Located in Zhengzhou, the capital of Henan province in China, this gigantic monument was carved from a mountain on the Yellow River. The monument stands at a colossal height of 106 meters, or 348 feet tall. And boy, do the Chinese know how to get things done. The faces together cover over 1,000 square meters and are made from over 7,000 cubic meters of concrete, 1,500 tons of steel, and 6,000 cubic meters of granite. The cost to create these mythical emperors was approximately 180 million yuan, which seems like a complete bargain if you ask me.
I thought that was some ancient something that I never heard of, and I was about to be blown away by that. Oh, that's still crazy, though. Hey, the Chinese know how to get things done.
I was doing some research on the New York City subway stations, and it's interesting because they said that the subway stations were founded in 1904, and they opened in 1905. So they were found, that's what founded means, they were found in 1904, and they opened 1 year later. They didn't build them. They just took ownership of these tunnels that are deep underneath New York City. And it's interesting because when you look at all of these tunnels, you sit there and think, okay, you go up above on the street, you got horse and wagon and all this stuff roaming around, but you're building these massive tunnels cutting through the earth. Take a perfect example. Go outside, get a shovel, and see how far you can go in the earth. Especially in a time around the 1900s where it's very challenging to do that. There's no construction photos. There's just like 4 people standing in front of a tunnel saying that we built it. You would think if you did the first subway ever that people are blown away that they could go in, you'd have photos galore. But you only have one photo of 4 people standing in front of a tunnel saying that you founded the tunnels of New York City.
I think he might be full of shit on that whole founded thing. Just for the fact of, like, think about Dave Thomas, founder of Wendy's. And if you're, like, super young, you probably don't remember the Wendy's commercials. Or the movie The Founder, the guy that found, well, he did steal that, actually. Okay, Dave Thomas, the founder of Wendy's. He didn't find a Wendy's and then was like, I'm the founder. He fucking founded Wendy's. And I love Wendy's. It's probably the best fast food out the burger ones out there. So we ain't gonna sit and talk shit about Wendy's. We're gonna move on like decent people and leave this the hell alone.
I'm telling y'all, something is not right. Can you feel it?
Oh, this too. This guy. This is exactly how I be talking every single day. This video's kind of long, but like, dude, he dropped some heat here. Just listen to my man really put his Mac down. I'm telling you, atomic leg drop status.
I'm telling y'all, something is not right. Can you feel it? Before we start, it's all alleged, it's all speculation, all my opinion. So I just got done watching my friend Colette's video where she caught the sun looking very odd and she believes we've been catapulted into darkness. Now I'm about to show you her video in a minute, but when I was watching the eclipse the other day, a thought kept coming in my head and I was like, something is in front of the sun. The eclipse looked completely different to me than it did to anyone else's cell phone. So I was like, okay, yeah, that's pretty odd. Until I watched her video on this. I will also prove to you, allegedly, that the sun we're looking at now is not the same sun we used to look at decades ago. And by the way, have y'all noticed it's been catastrophically windy ever since that happened? Along with a dark gloom over my head for days in a row. Along with CERN's Peter Higgs passing away on April 8th. So really quick before we dive deep, this was me recording the eclipse, and I kept thinking something was in front of the sun, and you can see the lens flares showing what time the eclipse was at, like what part was being eclipsed. But all I saw was this super huge bright thing. When everyone else, most people on cell phones, caught it being eclipsed, depending on where they were. You can see from the lens flares it was almost a total solar eclipse at this point. And the sky was still bright. All alleged in my opinion. And now let's go see what Colette was saying.
This is my backyard, here's the sun, and here's that ominous globe that we always get when we do videos, which is literally just a reflection of the sun that floats around, but it's a reflection of the exact sun. Imagine my shock and surprise when I zoomed in on it and I found this. Yeah, those are some whole geometric patterns. That is the reflection of that sun. Bible prophecies are unfolding right before our eyes. The sun is black as sackcloth, the moon is knocking to open the key to the bottomless pit, to open the portal. Apep is the enemy of the sun disk, and his mission, his job is to, well, devour the sun. Here's one of the pictures I got of the sun in the sun glare. That is the sun's reflection. Okay, and I discovered something even more eerie. Not only is its reflection got those geometric shapes in it, so does the sun. Look close. I tinked around with the contrast and the brightness.
Now this is the sun you know if you're over 20 years old from a few decades ago. This was the sun we had.
I don't want to have a fake sun!
It was orange. It was not white. It was not LEDs. It was orange. This was recorded in 2000. Is it possible the sun in the sky is not the real sun? I've showed y'all my recordings of the crescent powering the sun. And again, we had that crazy anomaly.
Alright, I'll let that go there, because he kind of just talks about the eclipse saying, so who said that to me in the comments? Actually, I think I know, but I'm going to say any names in case someone in the comments said about they noticed the sun looking different, like white for years now. And now they say, like, it's not the same. It just doesn't have the same feel to it. They gave us a fake sun, man. They probably been planning this for a long time. Like, we got a fake sun. We're gonna install it in 2024. This lady's probably a very gentle lover. So start doing that and it'll heal you. That's the whole point of what she's got going on here. This is a miracle frequency. That's why they keep the music on a certain frequency so it fucking fucks with your head. That's the miracle.
Michael Boatright was an American citizen who was discovered laying face
Boatright.
down on the floor of a seedy motel room in California. They'd scoop him up and take him to a hospital where he would slide into a coma. And thankfully he would regain consciousness, but not in the way everybody intended. Because when Michael Boatright came out of his coma, he was only able to speak and understand Swedish. Not to mention he had no recollection of anybody named Michael Boatright and was claiming to be an entirely different Swedish identity.
Michael Boatright died in a boating accident. Boy couldn't boat right. Wait, that's horrible.
Some people say this was a walk-in soul event, but the evidence left behind at the motel room where he was discovered paints a much more mysterious and nefarious picture. Check this out.
This is 61-year-old Johan Ek from Sweden, at least he thinks he is. His name is actually Michael Boatright, an American Navy vet. In February, Boatright woke up in this California emergency room in a Nordic state of mind, only speaking Swedish, unable to recognize his own face or even his son. Police say Boatright was found unconscious in this Palm Springs Motel 6, along with 4 forms of identification and a cell phone.
The cell phone, it contained several phone numbers, all of which were phone numbers from the country of China.
Records show Boatright may be a graphic designer who taught English in Asia and apparently lived in Sweden for part of his life. After several weeks of tests, doctors diagnosed Boatright with the neurological phenomenon transient global amnesia. It's not the first time a person has woken up speaking in a foreign tongue. In 2010, 51-year-old Kay Russell went to bed with a bad migraine and woke up speaking with a French accent. Her diagnosis, foreign accent syndrome.
Foreign accent syndrome. Talk about, hey, we don't fucking know, but we'll just make some shit up to make it sound, hey, we're doctors. We got this. That's foreign accent syndrome right there, but yep. That's what it is. Came down with the old foreign accent syndrome, did you, bud? Like, shut the fuck. Dude, somebody did a fucking experiment on old Mikey Boatright, and ship set sail. And they swapped souls with them. There probably was some Swedish fella, some well-to-do fella. They swapped his identity right out, changed his name in that, you know, because they need to cover it up. Put it right in old Michael Boatright. Something far out and crazy happened. Like Chucky. Like it's like Child's Play. Like they did a fucking seance on him. You know, like they do in Child's Play. Whatever they do. He Pinocchio'd him. That boy came to life as. The craziest part of that whole story is I've heard that voice forever. This dude must have finally did a face reveal. That boy got some nice ass curls going on. What's up with that? Little cute as hell. These curls get the girls. These girls get on a girl. Hey, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.